Welcome back. It's time to talk about poetry, the road, living the life under blue skies, and a fellow who's got a poem or two and a crazy story in his heart at all times. This is my pal, Tom Pettit.
Hello, thanks for having me again,
Cheers,
Terry.
mate.
Cheers.
Welcome back.
Oh, of course, pleasure every time.
So you had a tour, you're back.
Had a couple of them. Did a West Coast tour from St. George to San Diego, all the way up to Seattle. Places all in between. And then I went with Tony Holiday and Jordan Young, two really great locals through the South, which was full of its own adventures, which included catching very large live alligators and just seeing a lot of places. Hank Williams' grave. We played music there, shot some music videos. Great times. Just got back yesterday from a West Coast trip and found this.
And in case anybody's curious why Tom has a meat hook, tell us the Americana story behind this prop that you've brought with you tonight.
Well, this is the way I like to greet people.
That's right.
I came in and I got up to Terry and I said, "Terry, good to see you," and reached out with the hook. We picked up a traveling gentleman who had claimed to have walked from Alaska to Arizona. Met him in St. George at my show. Had a good impression and drove him from San Diego all the way to Roseburg, Oregon. And after he left, this was a gift that I found in the vehicle, and it is it's a meat hook. He was a hitchhiker.
For those of you not familiar with a meat
or a hay hook or whatever, I don't know.
You can hook
a lot of stuff with it, I'm sure.
It's a hook that can hook a lot of stuff, no matter what that stuff is.
Human, myself, it could
Absolutely.
have been. No, he was a good guy. We have a lot of good adventures on the road, and it's always a pleasure. But I come back to Utah. This is my chosen home. I refer to it as. I'm from Georgia, but I love Utah. And I'll be leaving again on tour up the West Coast on the 25th, heading up to Seattle and then down to San Diego and over to St. George and back, and then through Colorado.
And on this next subsequent tour, are you playing a lot of places that you've already played, or are you trying to go to new places? What's your philosophy on touring?
Every time I go somewhere, I'm real big on seeing the place and experiencing. I do.
And you always do. You have great posts on your Facebook page.
Yes,
I always enjoy.
Me on Facebook, Tom Bennett, Utah will find me. Sweet Salt Records will find us.
It's always fun to read your stuff. You have a sense of poetry. You're always seeing the beautiful, even in things that aren't traditionally beautiful.
Oh yeah.
But it always sounds fun. It sounds like you have a great adventure just about every day, and you're happy to be out there. It sounds like most importantly.
I am the happiest I've ever been. Happiest and the healthiest I've ever been, and it's great to be able to play music. I tried to build a professional reputation everywhere I go, but also one that's fun. And I believe folk music, means the people's music. So I try to get out and meet the people. I develop close friendships with people everywhere I go. Any given day of the week, I'm on the phone almost nonstop talking to people I've met on the road, hearing their life stories, getting to know them. And also with Sweet Salt Records, we focus on Americana music. Utah's chock full of incredibly talented people.
It really is. It's crazy.
So we try to get them on the road and help them get to a place where locally they can be sustained and supported as musicians, and both financially and culturally. And Utah's just one of the finest places in America for that.
It's so true. Are you doing any recording?
Well, I just put out an album. I came here, I believe, right
Oh,
after.
that's right.
It's The Man Who Shook the Trail Hounds. It's a full-length album. But I have
awesome
added,
title. You're
thank
right.
You.
See, once you started the title. Oh, yeah, of course.
Well, I've been adding this percussion setup with a suitcase on one foot and a tambourine on the other. Right before I left on tour, I noticed there were people trying to dance to the music, so I thought I need a beat, And
an American Tourister came to the rescue.
Yeah. I already had the case. I just threw a kick drum pedal on it. We've been good. But yeah, I've got that album out. I do have plans to record another one. Freight train about 8 years ago-ish. In the middle of the night, and rode to Caliente, Nevada on an accident. I was trying to get to St. George, so I made it pretty close. But then I had to walk all night, and I was followed by wild horses, but I didn't know that's what they were because I couldn't see them in the dark. And being that I've been awake for 3 days on a freight train, I was very delirious, and it was terrifying. I was waving a knife around in the dark at whatever these phantom things were, and they
were that close to you.
I could hear them. They weren't making any horse sounds, so I didn't know what they were. And there were a lot of them. I didn't know if they were wolves or I don't know, but they were following me all night long, and it was pretty scary. So I'm working on an album called The 3-Day Train Ride to Caliente, Nevada, which will be more of a spoken word, acoustic kind of
cool.
story concept album. It's all true, though. It's all things I've experienced firsthand. And then I'm got an idea for one I might do called The Motorhome on the Moon, where I'm going to go back and do all of my songs with electric guitar and reverb.
I think that's a great
various
idea.
effects.
I'd love to hear you electrified.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Good to see you, brother.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
One more?
again. Sure, I'd love to play another song for you.
All right, then.
Absolutely.
On behalf of Pabst Blue Ribbon and myself and all of us at Park City Television, more Tom Bennett after this. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back.